Hey, Facebook Live. It's your girl, Dr. V. Hey, come on in, you guys. Come on in. I'm getting ready to share the broadcast. I want you to do the same thing. Share the broadcast. Make sure you share and let me know where you're tuning in from. Share and let me know where you're tuning in from. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Let me go ahead and share. Share, share, share. Share, share, share. Come on in, you guys. Hey, who's here? Who's here? Let me know. Let me know. Okay. So, you guys, I wanted to come on because there were some things I wanted to share with you that are really in my heart. Hey, Sydney, I'm so proud of you, beautiful. Listen, I love it. I love everything you are doing. You are killing it out here, girl. Killing it. Super proud. Super proud. Y'all come on in. Come on in. Share the broadcast. I wanted to talk about the anointing for a minute. Today has been like a very full day for me. It's been full. You are definitely welcome, gorgeous. It's been a full day. When I say full, I mean full. This morning, I had to speak at a commencement at Delphi Academy in Clearwater. And I don't know if you guys were able to see the broadcast, but if you didn't, go back and check out the watch party. The message was really powerful message. I was excited to have been invited. It was a great thing, and we had a great time. And then I came home, and y'all listen, I wanted to buy black. Okay, it's Juneteenth. I wanted to buy black, and I wanted some barbecue. So I went to Sim's Smoked. And when I tell you, baby, I got some beef brisket that was so tender. It felt like it melted in my mouth. And I'm mad that I don't have any more because I want it. Do you hear me? I want it. Yes, girl. What does that say? Girl. So then I had to come to my office. I had someone who was getting ready to sign up with me and purchase some products. They already had purchased products and had lost like 10 pounds and were like, okay, girl, I need to start the business. Okay. So I came in, I got some people signed up, and I ended up signing up like 4 people this afternoon. And I really thought about it. And this is why I wanted to come on and share this with you guys. So this month I've, signed up 8 people. 8 people who have taken their health into their hands, who have decided that they want to make money. I'm like, great. My message was amazing. People were impacted by it. And that was the big thing. See, for me, this is when I know I've done my job. When people come up afterwards and talk about how much the message impacted them. So, for example, one woman came up and she said, you had the kids' attention. You had the kids' attention, and they were just like glued to you. And you could tell that, you had impacted them. They were paying attention to what you said. Well, that's true. Every time I go over there to speak, those kids always pay attention. They're always tuned in. They're locked in. They're locked and loaded and ready to go. And today was no different. And some of the parents, though, had never seen me speak. So it was new for them. And so it gave me an opportunity to speak and talk about some things. And yes, it's Juneteenth. I talked about Juneteenth. It is a predominantly white school. There may be 3 black students in the whole school, maybe a few more. But I have never felt anything when I go over there. I've never felt anything that felt funny. They didn't treat me funny. They didn't act funny. They always been very warm and very embracing. So I talked about that. And I just talked about, how ironic it was that they were leaving high school on June 19th, the day that the Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1865. Gave them a little history. And then I talked about our obligation. So as they're leaving high school, what is their obligation to society? What is their obligation to the world? What is their obligation to people who don't look like them? So I talked about that. And like, it was an experience. That's what I'm going to say. It was an experience. So when I tell you, the fire of the anointing will open things up for you. The fire of the anointing will open things up for you. See, when you're in that flame and the fire of the anointing is on you, you've got to go. You can't wait. You can't be stuck. You've got to go. Listen, I am all the way ready. And killing it and doing it. Why? Because we are ready to move. Ready to move. Ready to get it done. Ready to make it happen. Ready to change lives. Ready to do all of that. And I want to say this. You can't draw back when the fire is hot. You can't draw back when the fire is hot. When the fire is hot, you've got to continue to push through, push through, push through. And in the push, I'm saying, why protested Juneteenth as a community if we still have to work a 9 to 5? I'm not sure what you're asking. I'm not sure what you're asking. If you're talking about being free, then like I know, and I talked about this earlier today, that we're not free. Like I know that, like we're free-ish. That's kind of free, right? But for me, my whole thing was about acknowledging and recognizing the event that took place. Now, listen, understand that I'm from Kentucky, and in Kentucky, we didn't find out that the Emancipation Proclamation had been signed until August. In fact, we celebrate August 8th. I remember we had always celebrated August 8th. I hadn't heard about Juneteenth until I was in college. Like that's when I learned about Juneteenth, because I was like, oh, we was behind. You know, I thought everybody celebrated August 8th. They don't, because everybody else already had heard about it. So listen, I am excited because when the anointing falls, then it allows you to plow through tough ground. Now, what does that mean? It means that we can talk about the economic side. I did a whole live about this today, and I talked about how you've got to look at the economics of it. You're not free if you are sick, if you're stuck spiritually, if you like all of these different areas. If mentally you're limited and you're limiting yourself through your limiting beliefs, you're not free. But the beauty is, we can take our freedom. And see, that's what the anointing does for me. I don't know about anybody else, but that's what the anointing does for me. It gives me a freedom to take territory, to take land, to do things. And that's why you've got to plug in to the anointing. Now, I'm not telling you to believe what I believe. You can believe whatever you want to believe. But what I know is there is a space that when you occupy it, it allows it to be easy for you to make movement. It allows it to be easy for you to flow. It allows you to be easy. Like it just flows. It just moves. It just goes. There's a flow that happens. So you got to occupy that space. I got work to do tonight. So I had to take me an extra shot of my liquid vitamin because I need that extra energy. Oh my God, it's going to kick in just a minute. So my question to you is, what is it that God has given you to do? What is it that God has given you to do that you're holding out on? What is it that God has given you to do that you won't step into because you're afraid or you're frustrated or whatever? What is it for you to do? Now listen, I told Sydney that I was proud of her, and I am. Let me tell you something. Like I've watched her step into who she is, step into her identity, embrace it, and walk that thing out with confidence. And in doing so, she is changing lives, not just hers, not just her children's, but the lives of so many other people, because she's owning who she is. Hey, Stacy, how you doing, boo? And as she's owning who she is evolving and she's showing up differently. The anointing will cause you to show up differently. You will not be able to show up the way you used to show up. Like you have to evolve. And the problem is too many people don't want to evolve. They don't want to change. They say, this is who I am. And this is who I'm always going to be. Well, listen, I get that there are certain personality characteristics that we have. I get that we have certain things about us, right? I get that. But listen, there is so much more to who you are and who you already are. Listen, because this is the key. Your evolution is not into a new person. It's into the you that you were created as, right? It's already in you, but you got to peel back the layers of all this stuff that has been learned that interferes with your ability to be who you were created to be. You got to do it. You got to do that work. So every time I come on here and I come on from my office and I'm sitting here, I'm sitting between my African queen and my queen, right? They both have natural hair. Like both of them are regal. And I painted both of them. Why is that important? There's a time when I would have been hesitant to have them in the background, right, as my backdrop. I don't care who I'm Zooming with. I don't care what I'm doing. If I'm in my office, they're there. They're with me. Like they're my reminder that there is so much more. There's so much to do. There's so much, and we can do it. And it doesn't matter whether we're talking about on the continent or whether we're talking about here in America. It is still a part of our lineage. It's a part of our heritage. It's a part of our birthright. And we've got to learn to tap into our birthright. You have a birthright. In the Bible, there's the story of Jacob and Esau. Jacob and Esau were twins, right? They were twins, born of the same mother and the same father, okay? And the story is told that, Jacob was, he was at home with mama. He was up under mama, but Esau was the one who went out and, was a hunter. He was the one that was making things happen. And he had come in and he was hungry and he wanted something to eat. And he asked Jacob for some stew. And Jacob said, "I'll give it to you if you give me your birthright." And Esau was so hungry that he sold off his birthright for a cup of stew, a bowl of stew. He gave up his birthright for a bowl of stew. You guys, listen, don't give up your birthright for a bowl of stew. Don't give up your birthright for something that is minute, right? Don't give up your birthright when you have a right to occupy territory and land. Why is it that God talks about occupying land, right? Because land is the only thing that they are not making more of. It can't be made. Like you can't make land, right? And so land is very important. And you're not free if you don't own land. I don't own land. I know I'm not free, right? I don't have my own land, right? That's a part of my wealth plan, my wealth strategy. That's something I'm working towards. But you got to understand, you guys, that when the anointing is hot, you've got to move. And this is when I know the anointing is flowing. My hands are hot. Like my hands are hot, right? That means the anointing is flowing. Absolutely. We have to come together and face the system. Absolutely. And in facing the system, be willing to strategically tear down the systems that don't work. Like, we got to be able to do that. We got to be willing to do that. So I want you to know that all of us may not be tearing down systems or may not be in the fight the exact same way. And that's okay. We don't have to all do it the same way, right? But what we do have to do is operate within our gifts and do our part. Do your part. You do your part. I'm going to do my part. And then we all come together. And when we put it all together, we made a dent in the system. We made a dent in those areas of problem or areas of trouble. We made a dent in those things. And right now, so many companies, so many people are trying to rectify some things. This is the time to be strategic. This is the time to have a business. This is the time to go after those dollars and those funds so that you can further your business. This is the time for you not to draw back, but to push forward, to press in so that you can see the glory of God revealed on the earth in you and through you. It's not magic. It's work. It's in you. And you've got to bring it out, because in bringing it out, you show someone else how to do it. Listen, you guys, I just wanted to come on and share that with you. I really am passionate about how significant it is for us to keep pressing and keep moving. Don't quit. Don't stop. Don't give up. You can make all the difference in the world if you'll do the work. Listen, you guys, I love you guys to life and life more abundant. Have an absolutely amazing and incredible night. Mwah. Be blessed.